it's going back to the beginning of the conversation, the ability to have that mindset, because if you can identify or be present enough to say, oh, there's some chaos going on here, or let's call it healthy tension or whatever semantics you want to use. And if you can recognize and say, oh, here it is. Okay, now there's opportunity here. We can be creative, be with it, and not only be with it, but harness part of it. That's, it sounds to me like the mindset that we talked about. But what I love is the second one, which is the unexpected connections. Because I talk to my kids about this. You never know who you're sitting next to.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of a blend of don't judge a book by its cover, but be open. And you had said earlier, birds of a feather. But what if there was an aspect of leveraging AI some way, the attendee list, their titles or their job descriptions or whatever they are, and on purpose put, I'm making it up here, put the plumber with the bond lawyer, put the brain surgeon with the tennis coach. And kind of, and that it's a little bit forced, but have that, because you never know, right?
Well, you never know. And that is exactly the kind of thing that AI would have been impossible to do 2 years ago. The AI makes easy, right? The new ChatGPT search makes it really easy to find all of these people, tools like Perplexity. So these things are happening in real time. One of the things I love doing, it always blows people's minds, is I like bringing some poor person up onto stage and saying, here's what actually happens. Because what we're talking about when we talk about what I call strategic luck is shifting network dynamics, right? If one person knows what you need, man, that better be the right person. But if everyone knows what you need, likelihood goes up by like 2,000 in a room of 2,000, except it actually goes up by 2,000 times all of the people they know.
Sure, right. Yeah.
So you're moving very quickly to a world where it's all, if you ask the right question and you make it easy to solve the problem, you create a situation where it is almost inevitable that the person will get what they need. So I was at SAP Insider a couple of months ago, and I brought someone up on stage in front of 2,000 CIOs. And the person was so convinced that they could not get help with what they needed. And I asked the room 500 responses.
Right.
The crazy thing is this guy's from Ohio. He sits back down, 2 rows up from him. There's another guy from Ohio who's already solved this problem and says, hey, let's get coffee when we go home. The solutions to our hardest challenges are so much closer than we imagine.
And this relates, no, that's a brilliant illustration, because this now relates to the first point, where it's almost like you're undoing the silo, right? I don't know the exact words.
I'm doing exactly what we're doing.
Yeah. So it's ask for assistance, ask for help. Nobody's helpless, but have that culture where it's not just within your department, but it could be the bond lawyer asking the tennis coach, do you know anything about, somebody that, or somebody that could. And if you have that environment, that ambiance, that culture, that it's natural for people to do that, then, it flows through all the other 4 points, the 4 points that you eliminate. That's a great example. And they had coffee. And the ironic thing is the guy was in the same zip code there. Or zip code.
Right down the street. They met in Las Vegas.
That's really cool.
This is the thing that AI makes possible, right? It's a way to cut red tape, because it can look at all of the data, right? It can look at all of the Zoom transcripts in your firm and say, Bob needs to talk to Jane. Jane needs to talk to Sally. They all need to get together. They can all do that on a meeting on Tuesday. Those types of things that take weeks to figure out in a company are going to start to happen instantaneously. That's what excites me.
That's great. And so you're working with this large software company, and it's, you've surveyed or researched only 2.7 million managers, that you couldn't get to 3 million, Jonathan?
Working on it.
Okay. Come on.
I figure 2.7 is statistically relevant, but we'll try and bump it to 3.
Come on. I mean, we're all trying to. The largest room in the house is room for improvement. I mean, come on. Let's see if we can get there.
Yeah.
We'll see.